Hey everybody, yeah, I'm just heading over to the bus to do some much needed cleanup. We did not receive the tin yet for the transition, so there's limited things we can do without having it all enclosed. Because our next step is to do all the sealing on the exterior, which I kind of want to do it all at one time, and then we need to deal with the rust on the floor and get that rust converter. But we need to get that tin out on the front. So without that tin, we can't really do it. So I'm just heading over there to do a little bit of cleaning because I made a mess the last time I was there. And maybe see if I can get a plan of attack for when we do finally get the tin. So there won't really be much video there. It's kind of pointless because you've seen that mess a million times already, I'm sure. But good news is Christina's doing a bunch of videos because she is heading out next weekend on a 3-day ladies only backpacking trip, which is very exciting for her. So she's doing a bunch of freeze-dried meals. We have our own freeze dryer, and she's putting together some recipes that she wants to use for meals on that trip. So she's going to record some of that, and I'm sure I'll be involved in some of that as well. And I hope you enjoy these videos. See you next time at the bus.
Hello! So today I'm actually freeze drying or making up the recipes to freeze dry for my backpacking, and today I made one of the things I'm making is Texas Caviar. Here you go. It's one large can of corn niblets, one large can of diced tomatoes. In my case it was diced tomatoes with olive oil and garlic. However, if you want to use Rotel tomatoes, if you like yours a little bit more spicy, you would use 2 cans of Rotel tomatoes that are, because they're diced. 2 cans of Rotel tomatoes, whatever spiciness you like. I also used 1 can that is this size. It's the normal can size for black beans. If I was at a place that I could get canned black-eyed peas, I would have used a can of black-eyed peas, but I can't get them here. And because I don't like mine spicy, I used a large can of diced tomatoes with garlic, and I used a small little can of diced green chilies. 1 green bell pepper, 1 red bell pepper. If you like raw onions, you can put an onion in here too. I would go with either red or yellow because you want the sweetness factor. 1 small avocado, depending on how much you like avocado. I used a small avocado because I can't get the large Hass ones. And a bunch of Cilantro to taste, salt to taste. I use Tex-Mex seasoning to taste, and lime juice to taste, and also it keeps the avocado from going brown. I'm saving this out for Chris to taste because he's never tried Texas Caviar. So here's my whole pan. This will probably be divided up into 10 lunches. It's quite heavy, but 10 lunches. We'll see what it weighs. But that's my pan of that, and I will, in the comments, I will actually link a description to all the recipes that I use, to what I used and what you can use instead if you like it spicier. I could have added a jalapeno, but again, I don't, my system doesn't do well with hot spicy. Like, it does well with spice, but not hot spice. And when you're hiking, you don't want that to happen. So my next thing up is going to be stuffed bell peppers. So I will get that prepped and get that started. And I'm also going to be making my grandma's chicken noodle. So I will not be giving you the recipe for that one because it's my grandma's recipe. So I'll be making my grandma's chicken noodle. And for that one, I'm also going to I'm going to pressure cook while I'm doing the peppers. I'm going to pressure cook the chicken and debone the chicken while the peppers are in. And I'll have to get the noodles made because they need to set for a bit. And I am using farm fresh eggs because they are the best ones to use. And if you can find a stewing chicken, that is the best chicken to use. And I'll be freeze drying that. And when I say my grandma's chicken noodle, it is not a soup. It is a meal that you eat with a fork. So it's really good for hiking because it's got the protein and it's got the carbs. So anyways, I will get back to you. I just got to go put this one right here down in the freezer to get it frozen, and then I'll start with my peppers. Okay, I'm back. So I have now cut the tops off of the peppers and gutted them out. They're all gutted and cleaned. The tops I cut up and sauteed them with onions and garlic right there in a pan. I have 4 pounds of meat and about probably 4 cups of brown rice. It's what I prefer to use. And that's all mixed up, and once it cools down, I'll put some cheese in here. I've got salt and pepper in here too. I can't, because it's not cooked, I can't taste it. But I'll get that done. And then I have 4 eggs in here to help bind it all together. And I have over here, this is already gone for 30 minutes, but apparently the Ninja pressure cooker does not work like my stovetop pressure cooker, because this is my whole chicken to make my grandma's chicken noodle. And apparently they don't work the same, because in my stovetop one, it would have 20 minutes would have been having the bones almost dissolve. So I have it in here. It's now preheating again for an hour. I'm going to have it in there for an hour, and hopefully that will get it where I want, because you really want some tender chicken in this. And the best way to get that is to, you know, pressure cook your chicken for a long time if you have to. So that's that. That's my dirty dishes, and I got a pan there. Got some in the dishwasher, so that's where some of this is headed. And that's where I'm at. Cooking wise, I'm at a stopping point until this cools down enough for me to put cheese in it so it doesn't melt the cheese. And then I can stuff the peppers and put them in the oven. And then this, I have to wait for it to finish. And I'll be starting on the noodles soon. I do home make my noodles. I just use flour, garlic powder, an egg is the way I make my noodles. So I am not going to show you, because again, it's my grandma's recipe. But I will show you the end results of the chicken noodle. Okay, so this is just some of my homemade noodles. I do actually home make them. So yeah, there's a plate of them. I'm waiting for these to dry out enough to put them on the plate. I do like to let mine dry out for a couple of hours. It's just my preference, because it makes them a little bit more chewy. But yep, and I got those left to go through. So there we go, getting the chicken noodle done. And okay, and here's the chicken. It's fully cooked. It's just the cooling for me to debone it. It did take an hour and 20 minutes to get it to the point that I want it to be. Still not exactly falling off the bone like I'm used to. I may use my stovetop one next time. And we open the oven, and we got them pretties. I don't know if you can see them. They should be done. They've been in there for quite a while now. So I got to take them out and let them cool. And yeah, take them out and let them cool. And then the ones that we don't eat as a family for dinner, we will cut up and put in the freeze dryer to make for hiking.
What are you doing now?
So now I'm just deboning the chicken, and I'm saving the parts that the dogs can eat, because, you know, yay dogs. And these are the noodles. I did use farm fresh eggs, which is why they are so yellow. If you use like store-bought eggs, they will be more white than yellow. And once this is done, then I'll get some broth cooking. I'll use the broth that's in here and get some other broth going. And then I'll put the noodles in, and then I'll mix the chicken in. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. The peppers in the oven are done. They're just cooling off because I have nowhere to put them. And well, you saw the Texas Caviar. It's in the freezer. It's probably frozen by now. And that would be all the meals that I'm making for backpacking for the next backpacking trip.
Okay, the process is done. It's been done for a bit now, but we had a grad to go to, so what we do now is we just click no defrost and give it a second. Hit it again. There we go. Don't do that. Don't do that. Never do that one. Got to crank the valve here slowly.
Well, this is gonna melt all over here.
Well, that's odd because it's got no vacuum, so I guess it released the vacuum. Okay. Okay, what do you got there?
So, strawberry and bananas.
Strawberry and bananas. Sound like styrofoam.
Grandma's chicken noodle.
Grandma's chicken noodle.
Wow, that shrank up a lot.
That did. There was a lot of water in that.
Stuffed peppers. That shrank up a lot too.
Stuffed peppers. Mm.
What do we do up here? Oh yeah, Texas Caviar.
That looks good. Now you need to take it upstairs and you weigh it to see how much water has come out of it, so you know how much to put back in each one, each serving. Cool.
Oh.
So here's most of the food all bagged up. This is the strawberry banana, which this freeze-dried is way better than dehydrated. Way better. And this is the fancy chicken soup. So what Christina does is, here's her calculations. This is what the food weighed. So this is the Texas Caviar, for example. This is what it weighed on the tray before freeze-dry. Here's what it weighed after freeze-dry. So, and this is in grams. So we took out 1159 grams of water. That's a lot of water. So what she does is she figures it out, divides it up by 6, because she's making 6 portions out of it, and 193 grams of water is what she needs to put back in, which, when she works it out, is between 3/4 and a cup. It's about halfway. So that's what she'll put back in it when she rehydrates it. And this here, she took the number, what it weighed, and she split it up into 6. So that's what each of her servings is. So she gets 6 servings of 148 grams. But when she reconstitutes, or rehydrates it rather, it'll be pretty good. And then here's the everything's sticking together. Here's a different one. This is the cowboy, or the Texas Caviar, or whatever it's called. The stuffed peppers we had to put back in. Some of the peppers were not quite dry yet, and we think she may have just had too much in the tray. So it went back into the freeze dryer last night. It's almost done. And she'll do the same process. She'll weigh it again. Excuse the dog noise in the background. But she'll do the exact same process.